Hi, today's problem is more of an emergency and a bug, and overall, this is a good way to show that prioritization always takes precedence of the overarching goal. Our overarching goal is to get a job, to show the progress of how a product works in the market and how I handle that. So, with that being our top line, we've got problems with the ATS responses from my generation. We need to fix that before anything else. So, what we've done is I've gone through and did a quick breakdown to make sure that the ATS responses were getting generated poorly. We didn't know why. And so I went through the different areas. There were no external causes, like our systems were working. OpenAI was working. They were up. There's nothing out of our control. There's no major down stuff like that. And then our internals are basically what it is, probably. And so I went down and tried to figure out exactly where that would be. I went straight to my markdown file because that's where I have the prompts for AI, and made sure that they were being used in the actual code, and they are. And so from there, I went to try to fix these issues, which are, they were saying I have 11 years. You should do that math. It was January of 2014 when I started, so it's easy. It's always going to be the current year minus 2014, and then it'll be more than, because as long as you're looking at this after January 1st, it's been over 11 years for this year. And so I wanted to do that math instead of just randomly picking. It was sometimes using the number in the requirement for the job description. Sometimes it was just randomly picking a number. It was never over 11. That was funny. But anyway, so I needed to fix that. And that was always coming up in the executive summaries. And then the January of 2014 to now is just a matter of doing the math. And then the content was getting a little repetitive. It wasn't really spitting out what I wanted it to. So this is another reason I suspected it was our markdown file wasn't really being adhered to, or it was kind of shoddily put together. And so here is the markdown file. This is what happens is I click the extract keywords. It gets that, the job title, the name of the company, and then with that information passes it to the AI. Now it also uses my business information, which is all the information I have on my website, from the problems of the day to the my background information on the homepage. It's all fed into the system so that the AI knows what it is making. And so we have it saying what we want it to do. You need it to be an expert. I've heard some say that this doesn't work. I'm just adding it because it's pretty standard at this point and can't hurt. But from there, we've got some critical things. So we were able to tell it these layouts, which I got from ATS experts who knew what you should have in there. So we baked them in. This is what we're looking for. Again, this is from research, the 0.5% to 2% of keyword density. That's what they look for in the ATS systems. That after we did research and we found out, and so we're trying to keep in that. Then the professional title and all of the different pieces of the resume lend out. This business info is what I said. It's all of the information from me, and that the website has about me saved in our database right now, because it's all text. There's no unstructured, so I don't need to use a outside system really. And then as it goes down, you just see how we're telling it what to do. And then there were a couple others that were from specific job boards, Workday, Greenhouse, and Bamboo HR. And those gave us some best practices that we've also coded in. The executive summary then is where the AI is really getting a lot of leeway. And so it writes the sentences. Then it takes my keywords, which I passed into it already above right here, and it uses those to fill out what my core competencies are. Then my innovations, it tries to do 3 to 4 of those. Then all of my different information. We're having trouble with the dates, and so I have hard coded in the variables, so they're not hard coded, but these are ending up working to not create new dates. So instead of saying a random date, it's actually the dates that the companies that I worked at. So as you can see, there's some other keyword integration rules. Make sure that the quality is there through the tone and awkwardness. You don't want you just want it to fit. And then all of this stuff is to make sure that it doesn't make up my work experience, because that's what it was doing a lot. And so from there, what we ended up getting was a resume builder that works. And so we're going to go ahead and first of all show that we fixed this, because it was showing some problems before. This is my resume now. As you download it, shows up pretty good, but beforehand it was showing up like this, and that wasn't good enough. So we've got that fixed. And then we have this, and here is that random job posting. I just went to Indeed and searched and picked one. I didn't really even read it. We'll extract. As you can see, it has the name, it has this. I'm gonna remove this part just so that it has all that. And then we're gonna generate our cover letter and our resume. And as you can see, we're hoping that the dates for present platform aren't 2024. They want to be April of 2025 to June of 2025. Blast off apps is from 2014 until present, and we don't want to see anything other than 11 plus years of experience for me, because it was making up lower numbers and just randomly picking numbers, it seemed. And so we wanted to improve that here. And as you can see, it has found everything we need. We have a decent, see, it's got 9 years. There's a problem. It is reverted. So we've got to fix that again. This did fix, though. The present platform is fixed. So in the meantime, we can always go in and change 11. So we did fix the date problem, which was a serious problem. We'll have to dig a little deeper on the 11 years experience, but in the end it worked out okay. And here is the end result. This is the tailored resume. And so as you can see, 11 years, not necessarily true. There's some making up happening here. I did work in the healthcare industry, but I didn't get it all in the healthcare industry. I did do those things. Adapting the cross leader, yep. And downstream marketing, I bet for sure had experience in. All of these I've had experience in, so it didn't make up a ton. Developed a, didn't give me enough of these, but that's okay. Those two, because this wasn't a necessarily great fit for me. So it's saying those, that's good. Again, we got this to the correct dates, and it looks pretty good. There's a few things we could do to fix it, but otherwise I consider that pretty successful. I'm gonna try to tweak that markdown file in order to try to get it to not make up the amount of work, and try to get it to use exactly 11 years. Maybe I'll just add it directly in this file to say I have make sure it has 11 years of experience or something like that. I don't want to do it that way, but maybe it's just the easiest way to. And sometimes the easiest way is the best way. It's called tech debt. Later we'd have to come in and make it more dynamic, but updating this isn't that big of a deal. We'll see it quickly, and either we can edit it on the actual dashboard, or we can edit it here and try to fix it dynamically by doing the math itself. either way, I'm counting it as a win, and we're gonna move on to the problem section of our larger project that we started yesterday tomorrow, and a little bit tonight. I'll probably start working on it, but we want to be able to get that problem fleshed out. But before that, I need to apply to jobs, and to do that, I needed this resume fixed, and I believe we've done that. So, hope everybody has a great day, and see you tomorrow with yet another problem.